Welcome everybody back to episode 3 of Aces Full of Food podcast. It is with great pleasure I introduce Drew, Bet on Drew Gonzalez. Thanks for being on, buddy. We really appreciate you having on, man.
Cheers, brother. Thanks for having me. This is exciting. This will be fun. I like the idea of this whole poker food thing that you had going.
Definitely. And it's cool because your Instagram posts instantly make me hungry all the time. So I was like, I have to get you on. And yeah, thanks for coming on, man. I know you're a busy man these days. You're 26,000 followers on Twitch, making vlogs, traveling the world playing poker. So what I want to know is, when did Drew Gonzalez become Bet on Drew Gonzalez? When did he take shape? Talk to me about your poker journey, buddy.
Okay, so actually, when Bet on Drew became a thing, there's a little bit of a funny story. You actually might remember I had an old carbon poker name, which is where when I first started to play poker to like make a living, and I like quit my job and everything. I was playing on carbon poker under Drew Peacock 8 was my name.
I
And
remember.
if you say it out loud and fast, you go Drew Peacock. Okay, so when I started streaming on Twitch, I forget if a friend of mine said something, or it just kind of clicked to me. I was like, maybe I should change this. Maybe this isn't like the most professional name, So actually, Bet on Drew was kind of born around 2014 or 2015. It might have been right before I started streaming on Twitch that I started to think about it. But I remember Drew Peacock 8 was my first Twitch name, and then I changed it. So it had to have been probably like late 2015 when Bet on Drew was officially born.
That is awesome. Bet on Drew. I think it's such a clever name, such a good. I love your logo with the bee with the club. I love club. That's my favorite suit. So I think it's a great everything. Take us back to your carbon days. How did you get started in poker? Give us that background, how it all went down. You quit your job. Break it down
Yeah.
for us.
So the poker start was similar, I think, to a lot of other people's, where moneymaker effect. 2003, I had some buddies who we were living in college and living together, and there was, we just kind of like partied and stuff like that, guy stuff, I feel like, whatever. But one day I came out of my room and they had the World Series of Poker playing on the TV, and they had a bunch of bottle caps spread all over the table, and they were doing something. I actually had a girlfriend at the time who went to another school, and I was doing the whole, messenger thing all the
Oh,
time.
AOL.
Oh, right. So much time went into that. But yeah, I went out. I was like, what are you guys getting into now? They were super funny, super fun, like roommates and stuff. So I was like, kind of never knew what they were getting into, like when I walked out of my room. But yeah, they were playing poker. And for a while, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Just kept doing my thing. And then one Saturday, I remember I sat down and I was like, okay, like what's going on here? Explain this to me. And that was my intro
That's
into.
crazy. With bottle caps, is that what you said, or beer caps?
Yeah, they were beer caps. They were drinking and they were using the beer caps. Blinds never went up. They're like, when does this end? We were literally playing for like hours on hours, and there was no end in sight. We didn't know you had to like raise the blinds, or because they were playing a tournament. They weren't like playing like cash game
Oh, it
wise. It was
wasn't
like,
cash.
yeah, no, it
Oh
wasn't even like
no.
a cash game thing, because they were watching tournament on TV and they're trying to like replicate what was going on. Do you
We
get
had
what I mean?
Yeah, that's unbelievably funny. Imagine never having the blinds go, but having a tournament that would. I'm tilted. That's like the marathon at the World Series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy. We have one of our viewers wrote age, sex, location back in the AOL days.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I remember that. Okay, so you started that was your first. Obviously, how did you do? Were you instantly a winner? Were you how did that go?
So I wouldn't say I was instantly a winner, because at first you're kind of like trying to figure it out. But very, very early on, another one of my buddies back then, very super competitive guy. Him and I were like the team leaders on our intramural basketball team.
Okay.
And he had super systems. So he had Brunson's book. He's like, yo, you should read this. And I was like, okay. And then literally once I started reading it, it felt like just like fireworks
Like
going
the little
off.
light bulb just boop.
Yeah, like in your brain, man, like hearing the concepts, the way he was looking at it. And I had a tiny bit of experience leading into it. And I had thought about the game just enough to actually understand what he was saying and see the beauty in it. I was like, "Oh, this is so sick, man." I read that book once, twice, 3 times, whatever it was. I would like reference it back. I held on to it for a minute. And then from that point, honestly, because a lot of my other buddies were just playing for fun, shits and giggles, whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
but I got like super competitive with it and I wanted to like beat everyone. So I started to be definitely one of the guys who like people was like, oh, okay, like Drew's got it figured
Oh,
out.
I'm gonna go to him if I have a poker question.
Yeah, or like avoid him, I'm always bluffing, or you know what I mean? They just think that you're on another level.
Oh, of
That
course.
that was the start of it for sure.
I
And
wish it was that easy now, huh?
yeah, I know.
The
Gosh, man, if I knew what I knew now,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I'm winning at least $25 a week, in a
Yeah,
little game.
yeah.
So what did that translate to? After reading Super Systems, after all that cool stuff, what did that translate to next?
Uh That translated to me being a fish. I would still I could beat my friends in that game, but then I would because they were just like easier to play, like super super easy, but then that would translate into me being a fish for at least uh geez man till 2010, so that's like 2003. I would say at least like 7 years. I would like deposit 10-20 bucks on like Party Poker or pokerroom.com. Holy crap, do you remember that one?
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
These are some name drops.
I know. Deposit 10-20 bucks, play a single table sit and go, that $20 deposit for that sit and go, 100 bucks
Oh,
for first is like,
that's
oh man, come
huge.
on.
And the best part was instant withdrawal if you won. Like,
Hmm.
hey guys, we want to go out tonight. All right, let me play a quick sit and go. Let me see if I can make some money before we go out. I remember that.
Yeah,
And
the
then,
glory days, huh?
yes, man, that was super cool.
Jeez.
So, what took you over to the next level of your poker career? You said you were a fish. What was the turning point to get you to that next level?
I would say, so like I would do the casino trips with my buddies out to Atlantic City because I grew up in Pennsylvania. So we would all take like 500 bucks, pile one too many people into our car, and then,
Always.
yeah, and then drive out and then lose, come back, sleep in the car, in the parking garage, whatever we would do because we had no money. That went on for a while. And then I eventually in 2010, I kind of was getting sick of the partying and all the like dumb stuff. I kind of wanted to like grow up a little bit. So I was like, you know what? If I stay in Pennsylvania around all my friends, it's just nothing's ever going to change. We're going to be doing Jaeger bombs every Friday night and being hungover all Saturday, Sunday recover, go back to work, rinse and repeat. You know what I mean? And I was just
Yeah, of
kind of,
course.
I mean, nothing against the Jaeger bombs. Like
No, no, no. Of
they were,
course
they were
not.
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then I kind of just needed to break that cycle. And my girlfriend at the time was like, hey, you want to go to North Carolina? You want to go down south? There was like, I was looking for jobs and there was home healthcare recruiting with Maxim Healthcare Agency. I drove like 8 hours, 8, 9 hours south to interview in a day, drove back that same day, and then found out like a week later they're like, oh, okay, we like you. And then I'm like moving down like legit, man. I'm so weird. I'm like nitty in senses of my life, but I'm also super gambly. Like we took a U-Haul, packed it up, drove down with no apartment, and just went and visited places like, hey, do you have any openings? Can we fill out an application with all of our stuff already in the U-Haul?
Dude, that's sick though. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a testament to you too, though. Like, just you're kind of betting on yourself, knowing what you want, and being able to say, like, I'm gonna go get it, regardless of what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? I think that's super sick, dude. I mean, and it shows because honestly, I'm a big fan of of yours, and I'm always rooting for you. So that knowing that now about you, I mean, you were already in the incline, but you're moving on up in my book, but and I think that's a great testament. So you landed in North Carolina.
Yeah. Yep. And then so it was 2010, early 2010, and maybe late 2009. It was like right in that range. I remember it was right after Pennsylvania got their first casino because I was like, I would move to North Carolina the second Pennsylvania gets. It was like the one in Harrisburg or whatever that casino is there, Penn National or something,
Okay.
right? I was so close to it, man. If I was like, I just don't want to not have to drive to Atlantic City. I move, casino opens. I was
What
so
was the
annoyed.
drive for you to Atlantic City?
Yeah, it was like 3 hours from
Oh, okay,
Harrisburg,
okay.
3.5 hours, something like that. But yeah, so it was shortly after that, moved to North Carolina, and then I was doing this home healthcare recruiting job and playing poker on the side. But at this point, there was like a little more on the line. I was away from all the distractions and my friends and everything. And I was pretty consistently, I was playing on Carbon Poker at the time, and every month getting like a $300 to $500 check from grinding MTTs after I would get home from work.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
so, yeah, so I was like, eventually got sick of my job. I was like, okay, I'm doing pretty good at poker. And I had built up like a 5K bankroll or something. And I was like, you know what? I literally, there was so much anxiety and stress with this job because you were on call at times 24/7. People were calling out of work. You have to pull out this big binder of things and like wake people up, these nurses, these CNAs,
Oh,
these
wow,
LPNs,
dude.
be like, hey, can you fill a shift and go to this patient's house? And you're like, I felt so much anxiety because some of these people really like needed help. The families needed breaks and they had like trachs and they're on ventilators. And then people are just calling out of work.
Oh my God, dude.
It
I'm
it was the
stressed
most
just
stressful
hearing you.
job.
I can imagine. So you kind of know what little high pressure situations that was very high
Yeah.
pressure for you.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. But it was kind of great. I'm very thankful for it because I needed something like that to push me over the edge, to be like, I want my life. I want my freedom. And I found that in poker, and that's a big thing. A lot of people see the lights and the glam with poker, but you know what? I feel like at the core of all of us who try to make it in poker, the one big thing that we truly want is our freedom.
A
That
hundred
poker,
percent.
you know what I mean? Online, live,
Uh,
whatever, the freedom we get from it, right?
yeah, for sure. Being able to, I mean, yes, you make your own schedule, but you're working to at a goal. You know what I mean? And if you can't get that freedom with the job you have now,
Mhm.
poker will provide that for you, but you have to kind of be pretty good at it or do decent enough to allow you that freedom.
Yeah,
So
it's tough. It's exactly like this the cliche saying goes, "It's a tough way to make an easy living."
100%. I just talked about that yesterday. I had a home game, and I was telling someone about it. They're like, "Oh, that makes sense." They're like, "Yeah, it really does. Uh, uh, it really does make sense to anybody that's trying." That's what I tell all the young kids that are, "Hey, how did you do it or whatever?" I said, "It's not easy. It's going to be hard, but if you can get to that point, your freedom is what." And you said it perfectly, dude.
Yeah, it's everything, man, and that stressful job pushed me to be like, "Okay, it's a perfect time in my life, not no kids." You know, my ex at the time, she just got a job. I had a little bit of a bankroll, confidence was high, and I just knew that now is my time to try
Take
and
that
like
leap.
put everything in it and see if this works. And at the end of the day, if this poker thing doesn't work, I'm gonna live my life with no regrets, knowing I gave it a shot. I knew I don't have that question in the back of my mind at the end of the day. It's like, you know what? Could that poker thing have worked out?
Like if you're 50 and you're having a beer, a Jaeger bomb with somebody and be like, man, really wish I would have taken that shot. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It was exactly that moment. And yeah, I took that shot. I quit my job, told her, I was like, hey, while you've been out on training, I made kind of a big decision. Quit my job. I was like, what? And then I just was like, I got to figure this game out. I have to figure out a way to be able to consistently make money. I got to do whatever I got to do to make this work. So I know at the end of the day. And that was 2010. And then I just dug in, did all the things that I did, figured out how to play the game. And also, I think it's important to note that you kind of have to get lucky in these spots too. I'm not discrediting the fact that, kind of there's a little bit of, life that kind of comes into play, like it's got
Oh,
to
for
be
sure.
time, and timing was good. That first year that I took off, quit my job, I think life was like, okay, let's let this dude know it's okay to keep moving forward. And I had a really good first year, which made me believe all the way up to this point that just through the hard times, like you're supposed to be
There was light at the end of the
here,
tunnel for you. Yeah, for sure. And honestly, Drew, I really believe that it's just the beginning for you, man. You just what you do for the game as far as all that good stuff. But you're genuinely cool, dude. Like I knew you before you were Bet on Drew. Like I knew you when we were playing the $150 tournaments at the Planet Hollywood, and we were, you know what I mean. And to see where you were and where you're at now, a sponsored or ambassador for America's Card Room, like it's just I'm genuinely happy for you, dude. And your journey. That's what I want to talk about next. How did you become a grinder in Carolina to traveling the world playing poker? Bet on Drew just takes that next step. You know what I mean? Talk to us about that.
So I would say that was a result of, so 2015, I started streaming. I got interested in that, started up my own stream. I was already playing, and early 2016, I got partnered on Twitch, which was a
Oh,
very
that's
big
awesome.
deal.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was really cool. And I really just started the streaming. Streaming is like a really, really big thing. Putting yourself out there, creating content, especially in the digital era that we're living in. I didn't realize how, I can't say that I had that vision to know like, oh, okay, let me get into streaming now. It's going to set me up for later. I can't take credit for that. I just knew that I was kind of like following my passions and things that I enjoyed doing. And the streaming thing started 2015, 2016, and I stuck with it. It was, once I built up a community, I felt an obligation, to be completely honest, to continue to be there for my community, the people who would show up to my stream every single day, support me through the ups and downs. So I became attached to it. I became attached to my community. And then I got lucky at the end of 2018, Bill Perkins, Jamie Staples, and Jeff Gross put out a video on Twitter. Bill's looking for somebody to host his Thirst Lounge channel. They're going to give you this island. You're going to have access to the moon and, blah, 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 blah. And he had already worked with Jamie and Matty Ice at this point, that with their weight loss challenge. And
I remember all this. Yes, this is okay.
So the like snowball effect leading up to the Thirst Lounge. And I was in a spot at that point where I broke up with my ex that I had mentioned earlier. And I was at a very low point in my life. I was like starting over. I had no money. I was living in, somebody who watched my stream, very good friend of mine, such a G. He gave me an opportunity to move. I was living in a shared apartment when I left my ex, just paycheck to paycheck, streaming to like pay bills and then staying alive, essentially eating ramen noodles out of a microwave, never used a kitchen. That's all I ate for like,
wow, man,
it was like 6 months, because in North Carolina, when you're getting a divorce, you have to be separated for like 6 months, not living in the same place.
Wow, I didn't know that. That is
crazy.
Crazy.
Before you could do that. So I had to like try to find a way to move out of the house. Now at this point, I can't like prove income. I'm like playing online poker. Like I don't necessarily have certain things in place that I would need to like get an apartment. But I got really lucky. It was kind of like a little bit of a ghetto spot, but like this person that was managing the property, I was like, look, I don't really have like stuff to show you, but like, here's my PayPal statements. Here's my ACR affiliate. Like,
just like, everything was just
like, I'm signing up people, man. Look at this. It's $100 if they deposit and stuff. Right. It was like really like janky, but this dude was like, I don't know if he was like, I'm quitting next week anyway, like
just, here you
go. Come on in. So I got super lucky, but I had an air mattress, I had a microwave, and I was eating ramen noodles heated up in the microwave for 6 months. And then my stream was dying. It was going like this, because you could feel that energy when you're watching a stream. If somebody's like there, if they're, good energy projecting, like I could see everyone knew what was going on. I was very open about it. But then, like I said, a good friend of mine who watched my stream all the time gave me an opportunity to go to California, and he gave me a job, a car, and a place to stay. And he also gave me money to get a U-Haul or to rent a vehicle just so I could get there. Literally had no money. So anyway, I lived in California for 11 months. I worked for his company. I had to stop streaming full time. I only streamed like 1 or 2 days a week to keep the stream alive. And I didn't know what was next. I was trying to recover from the relationship. And then at the end of 2018 is when the Thirst Lounge thing happened. I was like, yo, this is the next thing. Like, I have to put myself out there. I have to send in my video to be a part of the Thirst Lounge. And then that is when everything changed for me. When I got to be part of the Thirst Lounge 10, got to network with Bill, meet everybody that was part of the Thirst Lounge project, really started focusing on creating content outside of just streaming. Like now I started to think about content on a different level. I started to think about networking on a different level. Like my brain just exploded during this project, and I was put in such a unique and interesting situation. You get $20,000. You go. I went from going to the Thirst Lounge, pulled out my Ace, all the money I had in my Ace here account, $200. All right. I was like, I'm going to the
Ballin'.
yeah. I was like, I'm going to the Virgin Islands. I'm going to hang out with Bill. Bill, don't ask me to pay for dinner. I have no money. And then just like a complete like can't care about what's going to happen, just let life happen type of thing. And yeah, and then all of a sudden I go from my lowest point in life to I have a $20,000 bankroll. I'm in this like beautiful Caribbean $3 million mansion with a bunch of other strangers, celebrities, reality TV stars. I'm like, what is little old Drew doing here?
Dude, I got chills. I'm not lying. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Like I knew some of the story. I didn't know, obviously, I didn't know all of this, but it's like for people that are like someone just asked the best advice you can give to a new player, but we'll get to that question right now. But dude, it's so inspiring and so like refreshing to hear like people do get chances. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
So you're there, 20K bankroll.
And I literally then just had a very awesome like first month. It was very similar to when my 2010, when I took that leap of faith. I had like a very profitable first year that was like, oh, okay, maybe I can do this poker thing. I was like 60, 70K in profit. It was the most money I've ever had in my life that in 2010. I was like, this is
awesome, dude.
This is cool. Awesome. It was sick. But then fast forward from 2010 to 2018, I have no money. Yeah, right. And, you know, through the course of the relationship, buying a house, all this other stuff. And then, boom, all of a sudden again, my very first month in the Thirst Lounge project, I go on like a 60K upswing. And then it's like, this is crazy, dude. Like I had a plan in place with my buddy who helped me get over to California and, you know, get a change of pace, just change my life trajectory.
Scenery, yeah, just a scenery change.
Yeah, I was like, bro, like, if this doesn't go well, I may need to borrow some money down here when I'm on the islands. Like, I don't know what to expect here. But then I immediately just go on an upswing and, you know, we're like,
yeah, for
all
sure.
good. And then basically, gosh, the Thirst Lounge story, there needs to be a movie about the Thirst Lounge and the stuff that went on down there. Like, we captured some content, we did some stuff, but yo, there was some behind the scenes, like, we
no
did, like,
way.
A Talking Dead. Like, there was some stuff that, like, that was crazy.
Mean, that sounds cool. Okay, so there was one episode I remember. You won a satellite.
Yeah.
To a 5K.
My first 10K.
Your first 10K, right? And that I remember, dude. I was rooting hard. Like I was like, I hope. Tell us about that a little bit, just so people that are watching can understand. Like as a poker fan and a friend, or not a friend, someone that knew of you. Yeah, it was exciting to see on this side, dude. Explain your thought and how it went down and all that cool stuff.
So this was probably, yeah, about a month or so into the project, I think. And at this point, I had realized, I actually went into it because it's weird because I feel like I'm definitely a very introverted person, but I've become more extroverted in spots because I'm a streamer and creating content. You kind of have to be.
For sure. Yeah,
but I went into the project. By nature, I'm very shy until I get to like know somebody and whatnot.
Yeah, sure.
I went into this project thinking about, holy crap, this guy won this reality TV show, Kelly Minkin, this guy won this reality TV show, Ebony Kenny, like all these like big names and big personalities. So I went in very shy and I kind of just like waited to see, like, you can even ask them. We had this like pre-meetup in Houston at Bill's house and everybody was drinking and having this big conversation. I was just kind of like a little quiet, sitting and watching next to the fireplace. You can like ask John and like Ebony and everyone about it. I was like the quiet guy in the corner a little bit. And when we first went to the Thirst Lounge, I was an observer at first, and I was kind of like waiting and wondering because they just gave us a bunch of stuff. And it was like, here, do stuff. There was no management. There was nothing. It was just us. Like, make something of this opportunity.
That's crazy cool.
Yeah. So basically, I found out fairly quickly is like, okay, none of us know what's going on. I don't think anyone's going to step up. I was like, I need to step up. And I realized that we had to like seize moments. So Bill was on the island at this point. I was on a little bit of an upswing. I knew there was 2 or 3 other Thirst Lounge hosts that were arriving on the island that day, and I decided to get into this 1K Sadie. What I'm doing playing $1,000 Sadie at this point, I have no idea. Is like, yo, this dude is like really feeling himself, and
Hey,
it
you
was
got to
it was
ride the
sick.
heat. You got to ride the
Yeah,
heater.
yeah, and I ended up shipping the Sadie for a 10K seat on Party Poker, and then I was like, all right, it's Thursday. I'm gonna sell some action. I'm gonna pump it up on Twitter, and then I'll play a 10K on Sunday. No idea that Party Poker had a 10K running that day, and this was a direct entry. It auto registers me into my first 10K, and I'm like, why do I have 4 tables now? I just busted the other one. I look at it. I was like,
It
holy
just popped
crap! It
up.
auto regged me.
It just popped up.
It just popped up.
Oh no!
So out of nowhere, buddy, I go from like the 1K. I don't think the highest buy-in I ever played at that point was a WSOP Circuit main. It was like 1675 back then. So I go from that to like, I need to prepare, get ready. It's going to be a big tournament to, hey, you're here. And it was crazy. It was like, okay, all of a sudden I'm in this $10,000 tournament.
That's
And it was perfect then because we captured content around that. I had texted the group. I was like, yeah, so we got to sweat when you guys get here. Because I think they were driving or flying or riding the boat back from wherever they were coming from. And then it was sick because Bill was there. And we, long story short, basically with that, we won some bankroll challenges that Bill had put out there. If we got to like 2,000 organic viewers on Twitch, somebody was going to get like a 20K bankroll boost or something. I hit that day. So I got the 20K bankroll boost. I final tabled the 10K somehow. And it was my biggest score then. It was like 41, 42K. Literally the legends and the like 10K pros and stuff that I had to get through to get to this final table was absurd. But yeah, that was a really, really big moment. And then there was people like you, a ton of people who like tuned in. We ended up getting over like 4,000 viewers that day on Twitch watching that run. It's like, who is this dude?
Good. It was so good. Like you couldn't have scripted a better like stream or better anything. Like, dude, it was so good, Drew. Like I'm fist pumping. I'm pretty sure if I can remember correctly, we're watching I'm watching a movie, but I'm watching it on my phone at the same time, but I have the volume. So I see you all like go crazy. So I pick up the phone. I'm like, oh, badass. We're watching a movie in the living room, and I'm like, this is sweet. And then I finally told my wife, I was like, man, I gotta see this. And it was just because I knew of you and I knew how genuine you were and all that other good stuff, dude. It was just cool to see how that moment was captured, and I'm glad it was captured. Like you deserve that moment, you know what I mean? And it was so cool.
It was so sick, man.
So after that happens, after the Thirst Lounge, you kind of took off even more. Like, did you expect that kind of success right after the Thirst Lounge, or what did you expect after the Thirst Lounge?
To be honest, I didn't expect much. I kind of, even to this day, live my life a little bit by trusting that if I'm like, this is a very simplified thing I'm going to say, but like, I don't necessarily wasn't thinking like what's going to happen after the Thirst Lounge. I just kind of know when I was meant to be somewhere or do something
In that moment.
and like, as long as I'm like being like clean with my energy, not trying to manipulate life, letting it kind of happen organically when an opportunity or something presents itself to me, I just go and don't really think too much about it. Like I know I was supposed to go do the Thirst Lounge thing. So I didn't think about much past it. I was like, don't think about all the things that could make you scared or fearful. Just go was my thing for like a really long time. And it still is once I have that feeling. But so I didn't think, oh man, what should I do after the Thirst Lounge necessarily? Like what's going to happen from here? It more so went like, make the most of the Thirst Lounge, every opportunity you have within this, because it's a huge, huge opportunity. And then towards the end of the Thirst Lounge, John Party, myself, and then he was obviously really close friends with Arlie Shaban because they were both on Big Brother Canada in the same season. And so John was like talking to him, and John also like left everything he kind of had going because he was at a low point in his life for the Thirst Lounge. So him and I had very similar stories. So it was like, what are we doing after this, buddy?
Kind of gravitated towards each other type thing.
Yep, him and I became best buds during the project. Him and I shared the most stories and like everything. So uh yeah, then we just like decided, I was like, okay, we really have zero plans after the Thirst Lounge. We have no like way to like get housing and like any of this other stuff, whatever. So we kind of like teamed up with Arlie. We managed to find a place, did it right. We met the guy, knew it was going to be three of us here. So we lived in Vancouver for a while. And then at that point, when I was there, I was like, okay, I need to try to find a way to get a sponsorship deal. Like that's when those thoughts started to happen. When I was in Vancouver, I was like, oh wow, I can actually like play Poker Stars now. I could play all these offshore sites that when I was streaming in the States, just ACR and Bet Online or whatever, or Ignition, it's like, man, I feel like I'm never going to get the viewership that some of the like
The
other
bigger people.
streamers get,
Yeah, for sure.
right? I was like, this is my opportunity to kind of get into that mix. And to be honest, I don't know that it really had as big of an impact as I thought it would. Like, oh, I'm playing Poker Stars, GG, and stuff like that. It
Didn't
had
really.
some, but not like on an exponential level, like I think a lot of US and American streamers think it would have. Like, oh, I'll
Okay,
have more
that makes
eyes on
sense.
it if like I don't know that it has as much, but yeah, then the goal at that point was to make the most of my stay in Canada, play on these sites, get exposure, network with the websites, let them know that I'm out there looking, and just stream as hard as I can. That
So
was
you put
my,
yourself out there, kind of trying to
yeah,
let them know, like, hey, this is what I do. I can get you people on your site, kind of.
yeah. Like I'm an influencer, like I'm
Yeah, for
streaming all
sure.
the time. I'm playing these bigger events. So I would make sure, that I could just be out there. I knew kind of like a rough roadmap because at this point, Arlie had already done it.
Yeah,
Arlie
for
had a
sure.
plan for like years before he even started streaming, how he was
Wow,
going to get signed with like Poker Stars or GG or whatever. This man is just very calculated, very thoughtful with a lot that he does.
that's awesome.
And so he had a little bit of a roadmap there. And yeah, the years in Canada, COVID happened, and I ended up being able to stay in Canada longer. And a lot happened during that year of COVID because basically what was going to happen, we were kind of piggybacking off of the Thirst Lounge at this point. We had made some connections, like Phil Nagy on from ACR WPN.
Hmm.
He had caught eyes of the Thirst Lounge, and he had given us some like Venom tickets, and we were doing like promo while we were in the Thirst Lounge, not only with Party Poker, we did some with ACR and some other companies that wanted to like be part of like Bill's project. And so we started talking with Phil, and then when COVID happened, we decided to do another content creation project. It was called the Triple Threat Challenge.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was you,
Ebony and John.
Ebony, and John. I remember that too. Okay.
So at this point, we're thinking about streaming, creating content, continuing to piggyback off the Thirst Lounge momentum, and uh, this opportunity for this project to work with ACR happened, the Triple Threat Challenge, and that was a fun thing. The vision behind it was, okay, we did the Thirst Lounge. Can we offer something similar like the Thirst Lounge, knowing how impactful it was to John, Ebony, and my poker career? And COVID had happened. I was like, okay, let's do this. We're going to do video interviews just like the Thirst Lounge did it. We're going to get people bankrolls. We're going to, get some partnerships set up with mental game coaches, training sites. And we're going to give 6 people an opportunity. We're going to give them a bankroll, and we're going to try to see if we can't make them better poker players, help them to make some money. And during this COVID stuff, keep everybody kind of busy and
Keep their mind
entertained
off things. Yeah, for
while
sure.
this is going on,
Super
right?
cool. Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, Triple Threat Challenge happened. That ran out for about a year. And then towards the end of that second year, COVID, John, Arlie, and I had moved to Toronto.
Okay.
And we were there for a while, continuing to do the promotions and things that we were kind of doing to try to build a brand. And after the Triple Threat Challenge with ACR, we continued to build that relationship. And basically at the end of 2020, we was like, we made it official. ACR was like, all right, let's put a
Let's
ring on it
partner up.
here. Like, we're going to start building out our Team Pro program, because at that point, at the end of 2020, it was just like Boski, Ryan, and maybe Canuli and Lonkar as far as their pros. And Canuli wasn't really doing much.
Yeah. And maybe Riley, Tim Riley, maybe, or did he come on
No.
later?
Tim's never been Team Pro. He just
Oh, okay.
there's a bunch of people, A-list B-list celebrities, whatever, and some like other poker pros that have avatars
Oh,
on
okay, okay,
ACR.
cool.
But yeah, so then basically at the end of 2020, ACR was like, all right, we need to build a team pro. We need to have people on the front lines with everything. And then that's when John, Ebony, and I got signed. And
That's super cool. That was awesome. I remember all that cool stuff. They did, and
yeah,
that. So people that don't know, a lot of the viewers may not know. ACR is America's Card Room, and WPN is Winning Poker Network. Correct me, but I'm pretty sure that Winning Poker Network, and it's U.S. U.S. players are able to play on poker. It's probably the best, some of the best tournament poker and cash games around. And I'll drop Drew's link for his affiliate. So if you all want to sign up, you can sign up through his link. And yeah, it's great. They run tournaments every day. Sundays they have great tournaments. Cash games running all the time also. So for you're more than welcome. I'll let you all know. If you want to message me, I'll get Drew's link and definitely get you hopefully some people to sign up and stuff, dude.
nice.
Um, so now you are officially signed up as an ambassador for ACR, and you take your. Is this when you start taking your talents across after COVID? You start taking your talents to different places.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny. I left the States hoping to get some sort of sponsorship deal with another online site, and then I ended up getting it with America's Card Room, which is nice because then it's like, oh, sick. I don't necessarily need to be in
Anywhere else?
Canada anymore. I can come home now. Like, mission accomplished, and I can do this from the States, and I don't have to worry about having to leave Canada and everything. I had to go see a lawyer during COVID to like make sure that my stay was legit and I wasn't like overstaying my welcome and everything. So I was kind of like guided through that process. So yeah, signed with ACR. I was like, oh, I can come home now. And then that was the beginning of 2021. So yeah, a little over. Oh wow, only a year ago. Feels like
Yeah, it's
longer, but
great. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And then you had a great run at the WSOP. You took first in the Orleans. What
mhm.
was it? Was it the
Yeah,
Bounty?
yeah, the Orleans Thundering Threes event, the first event in their
The
Fall Poker
first,
Classic.
yes, that
Yeah.
was awesome. I remember that. I was there. We both made day two. I remember seeing you, and you were super short stacked. I remember, I think,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
you spun that up, dude, and won. It was super sick. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then you had an incredible run in the main event.
Yeah.
That
That was
was fun to see too, man.
that was so fun, man. That was such a rush.
Like I tell people, if you only have one poker goal, you have to play. I played the main event for the first time this year. That was just my first time ever.
Yeah.
Such a feeling, dude. Like
Yeah.
just so cool. And then for you to make a run, like it just kind of. I don't want to say the cherry on top because I feel there's so much more for you,
Yeah.
but it was like everything was in like on the steady incline, and then you making that run, getting the coverage you got, like it was just so perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it sets a good platform for you going forward this summer and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I think what you're doing for poker is great. There's a question: what's the best advice you would give to a new player who has good cash flow and wants to move up?
Uh, Me personally, I think that cash flow is a huge advantage to have and a huge asset. So you kind of have the cushion and the mental space to play good poker, to play like free spirited in a sense, because I know a lot of people who don't have that good cash flow.
Excuse me.
It becomes too weighing that they have to have results, and you can start to make some suboptimal decisions when you're in those spots. So I very simply put, as far as a new player who has good cash flow wants to move up, uh, just take shots as you know what I mean, as you can, because you're not gonna have to worry about like, oh man, I'm gonna be broke if I take too many shots here. But like kind of manage where you're comfortable playing. Also be mindful of where you're mentally stimulated with your buy-ins, because you don't want to be overstimulated. You don't want to be understimulated. So considering you have like good cash flow, find, maybe playing $100 tournaments online, stimulates you enough, it suits your current playing.
Money.
And if you want to, then since you have the cash flow, take a shot in a 200 here and there. And if you feel yourself like, oh, I'm not comfortable, it doesn't feel good, you could just go back down and it's not really a big deal. So you have a lot of room to feel out your situation and find what works best for you. So that's
Yeah.
kind of thinking.
Great question. That was a great answer also. Like, yeah, just you have that ability to figure out what your threshold is and what gets the juices flowing and kind of gauge where you're at skill wise and you're able to kind of test the waters because you have that flexibility. All right, Drew, this is the best part, my favorite part of the show, the meat and the potatoes, I call it. We're getting down to the meat and potatoes. Would you say you're more of a let's go eat out or let me cook type person?
Dang, that's tough. I would say honestly, I appreciate I got a love for the home cooked meals, but being like an online grinder and streamer and stuff like that, like
It's
I've
tough.
ordered myself some delivery in the day, you know.
Do you cook personally?
I can cook some like simple stuff. I wouldn't say I'm like a high level cook, but there's some things that I can cook that you're gonna sit, you're gonna eat, and you're gonna think that I can cook. But
Okay, so my question to you: if you want to impress, what's your go-to meal? Like you're gonna have people over, you're gonna have Phil Ivey and Daniel Negreanu over. What are you cooking for them?
my mom's chicken adobo, her Filipino chicken adobo recipe.
Oh, dang!
Yeah,
That sounds pretty
that's
sick.
that's my thing. In the Thirst Lounge, when I cooked for everyone there, I believe the first time, that's what I busted out.
Really,
Yeah, that's definitely my meal I'll like bust out.
I'm not gonna lie. I may need to sample that.
For sure. You're
Maybe,
gonna be in Vegas
definitely.
this summer, right?
Yeah, we got a house out there, so we're
Okay.
also gonna throw a barbecue. We're gonna bust out some. We're gonna try to get some fajitas
Hmm.
sent from our hometown,
Snap
sent
call.
over there. Yeah, and we're gonna throw a big old aces full of food barbecue over there.
Sick, that'd be great. I'll bring the chicken adobo.
That'd be sweet, dude. All right, next question. Hold on. Show. Would you consider yourself a picky eater?
No, but my girlfriend Hannah, she's Korean. She's tried to get me to eat like some of the Korean stuff they have, like chicken feet,
Oh
and
no.
like yeah, I actually back when I was staying at this Airbnb in Philly, I took it on. I was on stream. I was like, all right, I'm gonna bite this, but man, it's got like nails on it and stuff like
Oh,
that. Apparently, it's like good for your skin or something. I was like, you know what? That's fine. Take my skin. I don't
I'll
care. I don't want to
I'll
eat
take
this.
bad skin all day, dude. Give me the bad skin, like
Yeah.
frog legs. Like, oh, I don't know. I've never had it, but my wife says I'm the pickiest, fattest guy you're ever gonna meet. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
Super, 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 super picky. Is there any foods that you will not eat?
You know what? We eat with our eyes, right? So
Mhm.
there's like some things that if it seems too, the way I'll describe it is like too real. Like I can't bring myself to do it. Chicken feet. Uh, if you know this Filipino, it may be in other cultures too, but balut, it's like this egg that is like the yolk is like kind of more developed and it's really salty, and you could like see like the chicken or whatever in it.
Yes,
Too
that's
real. Frog legs, too real. Little I was at Kame last fall with Boski, Ebony, and I think a couple other people, but there was this little dish on there that had this crab. Like it was like a mini soft shell crab, but it was like a crab and they're like, just eat it. I was like, no, it's like still
there.
like in its full form. Like
Like,
even soft shell crab, like having to eat that, thinking about biting through the shell. Like
oh
I'm such a I
no,
don't know, certain
yeah.
things.
If I see like little eyes, like on the shrimp, sometimes I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, see that same thing too. I did eat one of those because it was like super fried, and I was like, I almost can't see the eyeballs. I'm gonna pretend I don't see this. And I was like,
it's
these people are looking at me,
bro. Like
Boski's
I
making fun of
remember
me.
like picking up, and it's like you're staring into my soul, dude. I'm about to eat. Nah, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
out. I'm out.
Yeah. Like, don't tell me what it is, okay? Don't tell me this is a tongue. Don't pull it
Squid.
out and let me see it. Like, so I guess a little bit, maybe a little bit. I'm picky.
Yeah. So like here, the Mexican culture, we have it's called marisco, which is like a soup. So they
Hmm.
put like little squid, like dude, it's so bad. It's we have one down the street. My wife loves it. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's so bad. The little like they said, oh, it's seafood soup. So I'm eating it. I get a shrimp, little piece of fish, and then boom, and I was like, no, I'm done. I'm out. So
I feel that.
yes, man, it's crazy. All right, are you a tilt eater?
Oh, I think so. I think so. I hadn't really organized it like that, but I might be. I think, yeah, I think that like, you have a bad session, something like that. You feel just from eating, you feel like
Some
happier
comfort, yeah, some comfort
from
for
it.
sure, 100%.
But you know what's weird? After I win, like have big winning moments, I'm not hungry.
Really?
Yeah. Like I have, like
So you're
I feel
definitely a tilt
accomplished. Like I
eater.
could go for a run or something.
You're definitely a tilt eater. Like that
Yeah.
is the epitome of a tilt eater. What do you do? What do you like? Are you an ice cream? Like let me go get like a, f- a shake, or let me do what would you like if you can think back? What do you think?
I'm not too much of a I don't have too much of a sweet tooth. So like I'll tell you what I do have a tooth for. I'll put almost anything on rice. I will eat rice. I can't Atkins side, I've done it before, man, and whatnot, but like I don't know if I can ever give up rice. I just can do anything, man. Over easy eggs on rice, canned spaghetti on rice, pork and beans on rice, soy sauce on rice. Like the only thing I think that I would not put on rice and eat is like cereal and milk. Like maybe syrup on rice is like, no thanks. I can't think of too many other things that I would not put on top of rice with some sort of sauce and just go to town.
Dude, that is crazy. So
I
you
want to eat rice after a tilting session.
so you can literally live off of rice is what you're saying pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. I'll put if I have to, there's nothing else. I'll put some ketchup on rice and down it. One of my favorite meals to make is I'll get some, and I would make this in the thirst lounge too for people. But so a little bit of rice, some nice, not the long grain. I like medium grain, short grain a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
On the plate, bang bang like this. Get some cheese, melt the cheese over the rice. Get some over easy eggs. Put the over easy eggs, at least 3 typically, because I want the balance over the top of the rice
Yeah, you have
so
to
that we
balance.
get that yolk to like fall over all the sections of the rice. And then
Wow.
on top of that, some Frank's Red Hot was kind of the playback in the Thirst Lounge, but I also don't mind it with some like pico on top. Do you get what I mean? And then
Yeah,
some
of
hot
course.
sauce, some tomatoes, some onions, some green onions on top if you don't have it, some hot sauce and some green onions.
That's the
And
play.
then, buddy, we need the hot sauce or ketchup. I'll do it with ketchup too if there's no Frank's Red, but because you need the acidity from the ketchup to cut the yolkness and the thickness of the rice and the cheese. Oh, it's so good. You need that. And then you just cut it, let it drip, and then take these beautiful bites. And when I'm done, man, I'm just like soaring.
You're flying. You're out of this world. I'm a
Yeah,
scrambled eggs though. I'm more of a scrambled eggs and to let it run.
yeah.
Just the fact because I don't know the runny part. My wife's a huge sunny side up. I'm a scramble. I'm a eggs. I like my eggs scrambled. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But that sounds good. I didn't know. I've never heard rice with ketchup. That's a first. I'm putting that. I may put that in the arsenal. Try that
Try
out a
it.
little.
I know you're a scrambled eggs guy. Give it a shot. Wifey will approve this. She might even get down with it. But do the rice thing. Some cheese over the top. Melt it. 3 over easy eggs so that the yolk falls evenly all over the rice. And then do a sexy line of ketchup like this. You could do a thin strip, but the acidity from the ketchup
It's gonna just bring it all
cuts
together.
everything. It's nice. Oh, you got to give it one shot.
I am. I'm gonna try it. No, I'm gonna try it. I mean, this is
All right,
why I did the show. This is why I want this kind of feedback, and I want more fatness in my life. You know,
buddy. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
I am. I definitely will. Okay. Do you snack at the poker table?
No. I have a thing with like dirty fingers. I hate if my fingers feel dirty. So I can't like I don't like the idea of dirty fingers touching cards. Like I always have hand sand on me. Like 95% of the time I have hand sand. But even as a kid, man, I was like I'm such a like clean freak. I can't stand like long nails and seeing like my nails being dirty. My mom used to tell me, I don't really have full recollection of this, but as a little kid, she has pictures of it though. I would go out to play and I have like my new shoes on. Before I come back inside, I would wipe the bottom of my shoes. I would want to clean the bottom of my
No
shoes.
way.
Yeah.
That'd be a good picture for you to find and post somewhere. That'd be pretty
I have
cool.
a visual of it. I remember what the picture looks like. Uh, but yeah, so like I can't do dirty fingers. I can't eat at the table. I can't focus and then like touch cards and then I'd want to go wash my hands. It's just way too distracting for me.
No, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna use a timeout. We got everyone. I'm busting out hand sanitizer. Everyone get. I need some clean hands before we continue with this tournament. All right, WSOP. Moving away from the Rio, are you excited about the possibility of better food options for dinner?
Yes, because we're on the strip, so we could like do whatever, but you're just like bound by what's at the Rio at that time. And there was so many times that bust out of a tournament, and then your options are way overpriced cafe food that's been sitting there for X amount of time. Even though the one it wasn't a Jamaican food. There was one of the first places on the left there had some like
The
really good. It was
Burro Borracho. Is it the Mexican spot? Guy
it,
Fieri's?
it might have been. They had like the cornbread. Do you remember?
Oh no, that's I know
It
what
was
you're
the
talking
first
about.
one on the left.
Yes. Oh, what's it called, dude? I know what you're talking about, but the corn,
Yeah, but
yes,
like that food, I actually remember. Like, okay, I'll pay some money for this. This was
yeah, it
nice.
was good. Yeah.
But past that, it was like tough because then you had like the diner, and then Guy Fieri's would close at a certain time. The Mexican spot, right? Was that a
Yeah.
Guy Fieri's?
Yes, Guy Fieri's Burro Borracho.
Yeah.
That was probably the best option, but dude, it was like it was so packed.
Mhm.
Luckily, I had some friends that were like diamond or 7-star, and they would just like, oh, we'd get to the front, but like it wasn't anything special, you know.
Yeah.
So your dinner breaks for tournaments, what are like? Are you like, I'm gonna eat now, or I'm gonna wait till after I bag? What you prefer?
It was a mix for me, specifically last fall. Like sometimes we would have some plans if, people in our group were playing the same tournament, and Boski was really good about this, thinking ahead of time. Like, oh hey, let's go here. I got reservations here. We'll do this. But past that, there was multiple times where I would go to the gift shop and just get some like peanuts, and then I would go like sit outside, like by the to the right of the valet at the Rio. There was like a bussy type of
Oh
area that
yes,
had
yes, with like benches.
benches. I would go sit on those
Yes,
benches with my like vitamin water and then like 2 bags of peanuts or something. And I would just go out there and chill and get away from everything, eat my peanuts, and then go back. So that happened a few times for me.
that
Because it
is.
kind of sucks though. You kind of don't want to eat on a dinner break too heavy, though I do. You know
I
what I
know
mean?
that's the thing. Like, it's like if I'm short stacked, I'm definitely feasting. Like if I'm super short, done. I'm gonna feast.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, I mean, I'm still in the tournament, so I can still feel good about myself ordering this good food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My wife just put in the comments, trash can nachos from Guys are the play.
Ooh,
They are
they're
fire.
good.
Yeah, they're fire. She loves them.
Oh,
She gets the small ones now because the very first time she didn't know.
yeah.
The guy busted them out. Dude was like, "Whoa!" So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. All right, you're from Pennsylvania, right?
Yep.
What are your go-to spots in Pennsylvania?
Dang, go-to spots in Pennsylvania. So I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, and up there was this Chinese restaurant called The Foliage, which a high school buddy of mine, his parents owned it.
Okay, cool.
The best Chinese food, man, that I've had ever. Now, look, this is coming from somebody, I'll tell you, everywhere I have traveled to, Canada, the Virgin Islands, California, North Carolina, wherever I am at traveling, I will, to the best of my ability, always try to try the Chinese food restaurant that is in the area. I have to build a sample. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
I've tried so many different spots. I have a strategy too with this.
I need to
I
hear
love that
this.
this is part of the podcast because this is like right in my space, man.
That's no. I need to know. I need to know this. I need to know.
Like whenever I go to a new place, OG a Chinese restaurant, you have the OG choices. How do they do their chicken and broccoli? How do they do their beef and broccoli? How do they do their lo mein? Okay, that's like the top three. There's the lo mein dry? Is the chicken and broccoli a dark sauce chicken and broccoli? Is it a light sauce chicken and broccoli? You know, there's like MSG conversation changed a lot of the white sauce chicken and broccolis to dark sauce chicken and broccolis.
This
The
is
beef and
deep. I
broccoli, you
love
know, is
this.
the beef tender? Is it chewy? Like, so when I go to these new places, I got to try all this stuff out. And then if the Chinese restaurant passes stage 1, which is that, I move to stage 2, egg foo young, barbecue spare ribs. You know, General Tso's, is the General Tso's chewy? Is it crispy? So me personally, I love Chinese food. And back home in northeastern Pennsylvania, the foliage, the best ever. The General Tso's is crunchy on the outside, but then
Tender on the
juicy
inside.
and delicious and beautiful on the
Oh,
inside. They have this triple. This is the only place I've ever had this. If anybody ever gets to go to Carbondale, Pennsylvania, go to the Foliage Chinese restaurant and ask for the garlic sauce. I specifically, every time I go there, I will get the triple delight with garlic sauce, and nobody does garlic sauce like this place. It's got these like little beautiful black bean garlic thingies, but the garlic sauce is like a reddish tint, but it's like thick and beautiful. And oh my gosh, man, it'll blow your mind. Literally, it's worth being full. Like, I'll eat it twice a day. When I go visit my parents, I don't care what's going on. It's like, oh, mom's like, oh, you know, I made some burritos for dinner. My mom's burritos are banging too. I'll eat the burritos. I was like, all right, mom, I'm going to go visit my buddy. I'll go to the Chinese restaurant and eat that stuff. Especially if I'm only going to be there a couple days, I cannot miss not getting it.
really,
But
dude? That is
okay, so
crazy.
buddy, it's so good. Oh gosh, if I could just box this up and send it to people, it'd be such a great
How
gift.
far is that from Philly? How far are you from Philly?
It's about an hour and a half north of Philly.
Because me and my
Yep.
wife are going to plan a trip to Philly here soon.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I'm traveling for food, period. Like, if
Yeah.
the food's good, I'm traveling.
Yeah.
And we have our Chinese food here is terrible. I mean, we're a bunch of Mexicans
Oh, I
trying.
feel so bad.
It's like we're a bunch of Mexicans trying to make Chinese food. Like, Panda Express is our go-to, probably.
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
I know. No, it's sad. Like, we in Vegas, that's where we're going. We're gonna go have Chinese food. You're gonna take me to a good spot, because we can't find any good spots in Vegas either
Yeah.
that we really enjoy Chinese food at. So
Yeah.
I would like a bet on Drew day, and we go eat some Chinese food.
I dig it. I gotta do more scouting in Vegas. There's a lot of spots there. I gotta find the spot,
gotta-
but
That'd be a good little thing to do. Me and you, we can go figure that out.
yeah, for sure.
So Sunday, you're grinding, you're streaming. What is your meal? What's your meal play? What is your out like? What are we doing?
So I have 2 like pre-grind meals for online and actually live. I've done this a bunch, and I've already kind of talked about it a bit, but I love rice, man. I love the breakfast stuff. Like, if I'm not making an omelet with like cheese and whatever else, like if I'm trying to not do carbs, I'll do like an omelet with cheese and then whatever types of meats we have around. That's an easy go-to play that doesn't take a lot of time, because you know, a lot of the time we're like pressed trying to get ready, do my like stretching and whatever else to prepare for either an online grind or a live tournament. But a lot of the time I do this rice play. I have 2 rice plays. My main one I already told you about, with the rice, cheese, over easy eggs, ketchup, hot sauce on top, green onions. But another play that, since I have been dating my girlfriend Hannah now, she's Korean. Wow, Korean cuisine is sick too. Like, it's number 2 right now behind my Chinese food obsession.
Korean barbecue? Is that
Korean barbecue, but all Korean cuisine, outside of the chicken feet type of stuff. So now my side play is rice with I will make some black bean noodles. It's a specific black bean noodle that I like, and I'll put it over the rice, and then over easy egg on top of that. 2 over easy eggs on top of that. I don't go too ham with this because the presentation looks nice when you got this little bed of rice. You got the black bean noodles. I put about 50% over the rice, so I still have some like free rice.
just
and then
standing there? I like that. I like
you know
that.
what I mean? So I can
Yeah.
balance the flavors. It's not all just like black bean sauce rice. The 2 over easy eggs on top, and then kimchi on the side. Now, the kimchi in this situation acts as like that acidic part that helps you cut, like what I was talking about in the first one. But that's a play that I will do a lot as well, and I've done for a lot of people. Like, when I was in Texas, you know Tyler TSB, right?
Yeah.
Him and Way were staying with us in Houston, Texas during a Prime Social series last year, and there was a bunch of occasions that if I was up early and I was making food for people, I was
That's what
making
they
this like
wanted.
black bean noodles and kimchi combo. I did it at the punter's pad for a bunch of people. There was actually maybe an episode I might have made breakfast for like 4 to 6 of them, and it was this like black bean meal.
Dude, that
And
is crazy. The best part of all this is you said at the beginning, I'm kind of a dude. You're a cook. You can throw it down. I mean, you describing the meals. I'm getting hungry. Like I'm about to text. I'm about to text my wife. What are we eating for lunch?
yeah.
Because I'm getting hungry. Like this is the epitome of why I did this podcast. Like I'm so glad. Like it's coming. Like this is amazing. Like great. This is good stuff. All right, we're moving to calling the clock segment. Well, real quick, we had Jonathan Veriat ask the go-to meal for live tournament before a live tournament, which so you would say is one of your rice egg.
Yeah, one of my rice combos or like an omelet because of time and easiness of it. And like if it's like morning, I kind of prefer eggs. You know,
For sure.
I love eggs, so I like those breakfast items in the early morning. But I don't like anything like pancakes too much because it's like too heavy, too dense. So I always lean towards like eggs and rice for breakfast, pretty much.
Can we get a name? What would you name these dishes?
Oh, geez.
That's something that's
That's something to think about.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Put that in the back of your head. Let that marinate for a little bit. All right. Calling the clock segment, Drew. This is how
All
it
right.
works. I give you a fast fire question. You give me an answer. If you
Mhm.
take too long, I call the clock on you. We move on.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Favorite type of chips?
The purple Doritos, sweet and
Uh,
spicy.
Sweet and spicy. Favorite
Yes.
type of sandwich?
Favorite type of sandwich. Reuben.
Favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Coffee.
Favorite adult beverage?
Long Island iced tea. Oh baby.
Ooh. What's your favorite type of coffee?
I think vanilla sweet cream cold brew from Starbucks.
Damn, that's deep. My wife you just moved up in her chart. Favorite type of pizza?
A supreme pizza. Chunky, sausage, vegetables, everything. Boom.
Thin
Supreme.
or pan?
Pan. 100%.
Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Ooh. Popeyes.
Wow, that's gonna cause some stir. That's gonna cause some stir. How do you take your steak?
The only way you're supposed to. Medium rare, right?
So I had a guest on the other day. He said medium rare plus. I've never heard that. He said it's a thing. I'm
Mhm.
trying it this summer. I never heard that before.
Yeah. I heard that
Favorite
just last fall too.
favorite fast food burger?
Ooh. The Whopper from Burger King.
Wow. Tater tots or fries?
Tater tots. Oh my gosh. With cheese on top, anything else, tater tots are beautiful.
Sonic? You Sonic tots with cheese? Are you a fan?
Yeah.
Favorite chocolate candy?
I don't love chocolate, but I will say that Reese's, anything peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter cups, if I had to pick, anything with peanut butter in it.
Ooh, that's sexy. Okay. All right. Favorite non-chocolate candy?
Favorite non-chocolate candy. Okay, so I'm not really a sweet tooth. Favorite non-chocolate candy. Hershey's vanilla covered pretzels.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Favorite brand of water?
Oh, I don't think I have one. Dasani? I don't even know any other names. Poland Spring? What is that?
Yeah, that's the one with the green cap. I know that one.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I am definitely bougie with the water. So yeah,
Mhm.
Chips Ahoy or Oreos?
Ooh, great question. Oreos.
Ooh, all right.
Birthday cake Oreos. Oh.
No way. Go to iced or hot?
Coffee?
Yeah.
I think iced. I'm leaning towards ice in the last 2 years. Yeah.
Ooh, Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade. OG.
Favorite flavor?
The yellow.
Is
The
it
like
yellow? Is it
sports
yellow
one, yeah.
or is it green?
Oh,
The
it's a
color.
mix. It's like a neon yellow or
Okay.
something.
All right. That was egg roll or spring roll?
Spring roll. Do you know why? Can I tell you
No,
why?
yeah, of course you can tell me why. Yes. That
Okay.
was my next question.
Egg roll versus spring roll. Okay. There's a little bit of a gamble with the regular egg rolls because depending on where you get them from, the way that they can be like fried, you can run into like a chewy egg roll, which is really annoying.
Ugh.
But you can also run into those egg rolls that are perfectly fried, crunch on the outside, smooth bite through to where you bite it and then the stuff kind of like falls out. There's like a really good like
Like a
egg rolls out there. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's
yes.
like, but then there's also the chewy ones where you got to kind of like pull after you bite to like get the bite out. And it's like, this is too much work. This is not what I signed up for. But when you get the spring rolls, you're almost always getting that nice, like, crunch. You don't have to pull. It's easy. It feels light. You're not like overdosed. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It's you don't want your roll to take over your Chinese food. Like
Right.
you don't want it to overbear it with like, oh, this we're eating this. Like, no, I agree 100%. I'm a spring roll dude through and through. Egg
Yep.
roll, it's iffy because sometimes the pork,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that's my. All right, next question: Coke or Pepsi?
Coke for sure. I need that bite.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain the bite. Now I want to know what you mean the bite.
Okay, so I think Pepsi tends to be a little bit more flat in a sense, or goes flat quicker, whereas like Coke, you could feel, even though I know I've seen people have probably seen those like commercials where people use Coke to like clean their toilets and
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of
yeah.
the acid
Acid.
content, right? But I kind of appreciate a little bit, maybe to a fault, I don't know, the acidity or the bite in it. Like if when I'm eating like a burger from somewhere and I drink the Coke, I just picture the Diet Coke like cleaning everything out, you know?
So me and my wife call it the crisp. I enjoy the crisp of the like it's the pop, the like the hit, and Pepsi's a little flatter. I agree.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. So you guys call it a pop. I call it like a bite.
Yeah, it just gets it. You know what I mean? And I like it with ice. I like my drinks with ice, like
Yeah.
fountain drink for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm taking it old school here now. Favorite hot pocket.
Favorite hot pocket. Ooh, this is a nice one. I think the ham and cheeses are pretty OG. I think I got to
100%.
go ham and cheese, even though I typically wouldn't, because I know there's Supreme hot pockets out there. And oh no. They have like Mexican hot pockets, don't they?
Yes, they have
Oh, those
the
were my favorite with the little chili, the
but
peppers.
yes, yeah. Oh, I can't remember. I gotta look it up real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, no. I remember as a kid now because everyone just like robot clicks call on the ham and cheese hot pockets, I think, and the pizza or pepperoni ones. But then if the store has them, there was like this Mexican hot pocket
It was
that I was
they
always
had the
like
chicken enchilada and the beef taco.
chicken
That's the
enchilada, 100%.
yes,
That's what it was. The
100%
chicken
yes.
enchilada. Oh man, I love that
It
one.
was that was the play,
Yeah,
100%.
easy.
Okay, Gushers or fruit roll-ups? I don't know if
So
you,
this might be funny or not, but I have this thing with food getting caught in my teeth. So a lot of this like gummies, the dirty fingers, like it's
it's
all
all
kind of like
playing. Yeah,
in this space. So I don't eat a lot of that gummy stuff because I hate retrieving it out of my teeth and it getting stuck. But if I had to pick, at least with the gushers, I have a little bit of an experience happening. Like, oh, okay, the juice is gonna come. I can do that. I don't have to bite this,
yeah, for
whatever.
sure.
Like I would actually, as a kid, when I would have gushers, I would let it gush and then spit out the rest.
That's that's next level gushing. That's next level gushing. I mean, wow. You might have to talk to someone about that because that's
Yeah.
next level. Favorite vegetable.
Favorite vegetable. Okay, I'll messes with this. I would have to say, oh man, I don't know if these got to be vegetables. Okay, first answer is actually like broccoli. Like if we're talking about like frequency of eating and enjoying, broccoli's in there, chicken and broccoli, beef and broccoli. It's just all over Chinese food. So I have to say that. But you know what I love is I love water chestnuts and bamboo shoots in Chinese
Oh,
food. Like, oh, those bamboo shoots. I want to have just like a bamboo shoots and beef. That's not on any menus, but
I've never.
the water chestnuts,
I'm googling. Water chestnuts is one of my favorite. But what did you say? Bamboo.
bamboo shoots. It's the little
Blue.
rectangle things that you would get in the Chinese foods.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow, I learned something new today.
Yeah.
I've never tried that. I think I might have to try that.
They're
It doesn't
good.
look
If
half
you
bad.
appreciate water chestnuts, it's like a really nice combo.
Ooh, all right, I gotta try that.
Yeah.
All right, check this one. Bacon or sausage?
Oh wow, feels like you're trying to start a fight here with this one.
This is we're getting deep now.
See, I'm going to say sausage. I'm going to say sausage because if I'm ordering breakfast sandwiches, it's always sausage, but it might be partly because sometimes I don't want to deal with the bacon because there's a little bit of variance with bacon. I feel like you could get that chewy bacon where you get a
Mm,
pull, or you can get the overly crunchy, which is fine, but sometimes I don't always want that. Like
in a
it can go
like
too far.
you want it in
Sausage is
certain
just,
things. Yes.
sausage is just consistent. Sometimes I don't want to deal with it and think about it. Like I'm gonna get sausage, I'm gonna bite through it. It's gonna taste like sausage, and there's just no variance.
Jalapeno sausage or regular sausage?
I don't think I've ever had jalapeno sausage.
Oh,
Really?
true.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's jalapeno cheddar sausage
Yeah.
is next level.
Oh, buddy, it sounds like it.
It's I'm gonna we're gonna have it at the barbecue. So if you want to come
Okay.
by, we have people that make it here. It's so good. It's so good. Subway or Jersey Mike's?
Oh, Jersey Mike's for sure. So respect to Subway, they do
The
their
f-
thing, whatever. But the spots like Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's, like they just
yeah.
the bread is clutch. The bread is so clutch, right?
Jersey Mike's is I it's so good. I like Jersey Mike's. If you're listening, I love you guys like so much. It's so good. Uber Eats or Grubhub?
I'm an Uber Eats man. Uber Eats.
I
Combine
like
those
it.
points for the Ubers.
Yeah, for sure. Baked potato, hash brown, or fries?
Definitely hash brown. Texture. Hash brown, easy. I'm thinking of McDonald's hash browns. They're good. They're a little bit greasy, but you appreciate them. And a hash brown is like a cousin of a tater tot, I feel like. So shout out to the tater tots again.
Of course. Just so you know, you're getting a lot of backlash from the Popeyes comment.
I believe it. I knew I was going to. I knew I was going to.
Okay, are you talking? I gotta dig into this. Is it the chicken sandwich? What makes Popeyes? People want to know what makes Popeyes the choice over Chick-fil-A.
You know what? To be honest, I think I have a similar sample size between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
And in that sample size, not a huge one, Chick-fil-A has their sauce. Chick-fil-A has their sauce, but there's like I feel like with the chicken sandwiches, which are good, I remember them being good. It's just nothing that like stood out for me. But then when I think about Popeyes, I think about Popeyes, even though Chick-fil-A is very southern too. I feel like Popeyes is southern as well, but when I think about Popeyes, I think about their rice and beans. I think about like their spicy chicken. It just feels like it's a little more
Of a
uh
complete restaurant.
diverse or
Yeah.
something. But Chick-fil-A is obviously just like consistent, good. I know a lot of people love their waffle fries and stuff, but I've never it's probably, to be honest, like I have like a 5 to 10 sample size on both Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. I've never thought about Chick-fil-A unless they were around me. Like, you know what I mean? I think about
Yeah,
Popeyes
I
more.
get you. I love Popeyes biscuits, dude. Like their biscuits are
Yeah.
fire. I think they're a little underrated.
Yeah.
A little underrated. Okay. You got through the calling the clock section. Now we're going to the bad beat segment. Real quick, bad beat. I run so bad, Drew. Like people say they run bad. No, I run bad at restaurants. I once, when I was a coach, I would go scouting with my fellow coaches.
Mhm.
We'd go out to eat before, after, have a couple of drinks. Yeah. So we go, everyone orders their food, and every time we would go, I would pay for a different coach's meal just out of, hey, coach, hey, I got you. I was one of the younger ones there. I was like, hey, coach, I'm paying for your meal today. So, coach, go ahead and order. All right, he orders. I ordered. Everyone gets their food. I'm waiting. Literally, everybody's eating. I ordered 10 boneless wings and a hot dog. It was a combo.
Mhm.
The lady shows up to the table after everyone's already eating, after my food's late, with one buffalo wing with Danish on top, just sprinkled like that. And I was like, all right, where's the rest of them? She's like, no, sir. I thought it was weird, but the kitchen said you only ordered one wing. And I was like, first of all, I said, ma'am, does this body look like it only eats one wing? I said, you're crazy. I said, there's no way. I said, there's no way. She's like, okay, sir, let me go check. She comes back. No, sir, look, the receipt. And I was like, the receipt has nothing about one wing. And then I thought, all right, I'm kind of a prankster. I like to. So I was like, oh, the coaches told them to mess with me. Dude, at this point, they're already done with their meal. And I haven't got my hot dog, my fries, and I only have one wing in front of me. True story. The lady, so all this happens. Finally, they bring me my wings. They don't bring me my fries or my hot dog. So I was like, at this point, I said, sir, I don't want it. Just give me my money back. They're like, well, there's an issue. You paid for somebody else's, so we're going to return your money, but you're going to have to pay for his meal. And I said, my mind was blown. So I was like, and it takes 3 to 5 business days for you to get your money back. So there's going to be 2 charges on you. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Jeez.
I mean, I was massive tilt. So I was like, you know what? Whatever. I did the whole process. That was just one of the many situations where I run bad and I felt it was a huge bad beat. I didn't get to eat, got 2 charges on my card. I was on tilt.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any stories in that sense?
Yes. There's a story that pops in my mind, and oh man, it's tough to replay this.
You're getting emotional.
My energy.
I apologize in advance. Instead, some tears.
So this was back in my college days, and it was a Sunday morning. Saturday nights, the boys would go pretty hard. And I remember I woke up and just like hungover, like couldn't find a glass of water, nothing. I'm just like, am I going to get through this day? And I was like, okay, I know what's going to save my life right now. I need a junior bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's.
Dude, they go hard. All right, continue.
I know. I need a JBC big time.
Oh my
God. To save my life. And so I'm like, okay, am I sober enough to drive? I was like, yes. I just feel like I'm going to die, but I'm fine past that. My head is pounding and my other buddies are passed out, no life in them, whatever. I was like, okay, I got to go on this journey myself. It wasn't that far, but I hop into my car and I make my way over to Wendy's. I'm in the drive-thru. I'm like, please give me 3 junior bacon cheeseburgers and a Diet Coke. And say nothing and just like take my money. Don't even tell me how much it is. Like literally just I need to save my life. I get my food and then I drive back. I pull in. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna survive. I go inside and then I have my Diet Coke, sip. Okay, I just need to eat these JBCs and then like an hour or 2 hours later, you'll feel better. The bread or whatever happens in your body, it just seems to work. Greasy food. After a hangover, I bite into my JBC. I'm like, something's different. I open it up. There's no meat in there. It's just bread, like a piece of lettuce. I don't even think they had bacon. It was literally like, is this a joke? They didn't put anything inside any of my JBCs. It was basically
all 3 of them?
Yes. It was basically like bread, lettuce, and then maybe they had like the ketchup and mustard, whatever goes on top. No bacon, no meat. Literally, like it was going down some sort of like service line, like bang, bang, meat. All right, bread and lettuce, good. Slide it down. All right, meat. Well, he's not here. We keep pushing it, And then I got home and buddy, I was like, man, this is going to save my life to like, there's no way I can go back there at this point. I was like,
fighting. No, you're fighting somebody, period. You're going to fight somebody.
It's like, I just took all my energy to get myself over to Wendy's. And then I'm back here. I'm like, I didn't eat the bread, did nothing, but I literally just like, it was like a moment where you wanted to like explode sitting there when it like all hit you.
Oh no, that's good. I mean, that You're out of the 3 episodes, your bad beats at the top. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. That's dude, I'm feel I hope that Wendy's someone's watching, and I want you to know you really broke Drew's heart that he did not get to enjoy his junior bake. Dude, they're so good.
Yeah, it's so good, man. Literally, I don't know what it is, but the good news is I survived. I'm here,
You're
by the way.
here, and yeah, that's good. All right, credit card roulette.
Hmm.
It's a thing
Yep.
with the poker players. Do you have any good credit card roulette stories?
You know, to be honest, I've only played credit card roulette a couple of times, and yeah, I haven't lost, so I don't really have any credit card roulette stories.
So, but you run well.
Yes, I've run well in my sample for sure.
That's great. That's a win. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, if you can take any poker player to dinner, who would it be?
Take any poker player to dinner, who would it be? So I have a ton of friends, so I'm gonna kind of, exclude them from this. Somebody maybe I don't have direct contact with. Uh, I would say I would probably like to take the name that's coming to my mind is like Jason Kuhn. I would like to buy him dinner and be like, you know what, you're a cool dude. I like what you
I
stand for, your energy, stuff like that.
100%. That's a good pick, actually. That's a real good pick. Just pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah.
The guy's jacked. I'm not even. I'm comfortable enough to say that in my life. That dude's pretty jacked.
Yeah.
Last question on the food. I think I know the answer, but if you could only have one meal for the rest of your life, breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch, and dinner, what is it?
Ooh, that's tough because there's several items on a Chinese food menu that are really good. There's a lot of really good Korean meals too that Hannah has introduced me to. It almost feels like an answer that would be like, depending on the stage of my life that I'm in. In this moment, I am gonna go ahead and say my current favorite meal that I could just like eat every single day right now is when Hannah makes her kimchi jjigae, which is this kimchi soup
Ooh,
basically, but you can put it over rice. It's like a nice, the color of kimchi is like a
okay.
reddish orange, something like that. But if you have like a nice kimchi soup, it's got a bunch of the like soft cabbage in there bites,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
like add this really nice sweetness. And then you have a little bit of the spiciness from the kimchi seasonings. But then what she does is she puts chunked spam in there, chunks of spam, along with a little bit of sugar. And then if you put that on like the rice, the way it just kind of comes together is, oh, it's so good. It's sweet. It's a little bit spicy. You
It
have your
seems
shorter
light.
medium grain
It's
rice.
it, it seems a little light, but not just enough to get you to, you know what I mean? Like it
It's
fulfills
not
your hunger.
overly heavy, but the spiciness like cuts things down, doesn't make you feel whatever. It's very homey, and oh, it's just, man, I've fallen in love with it. But I feel like the spam is some sort of big player in it because I've had the kimchi soup with like pork and tuna in it, and I feel like just the way Hannah makes it is like really, really nice.
Really
I'm gonna
good.
have to get it for the summer, like the way she does it. I'm gonna try to make it a couple times so that I can present it to other people.
No, definitely. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Drew,
Yeah.
you're the man. Just so you know, guys, this hat is part of Drew's merch. I have his website on there, betondrew.com. Very cool, sick merchandise. He also streams. What days are you streaming, Drew?
It's a bit random right now. One day that you can, the majority of the time you'll catch me streaming is Wednesday nights for my ACR home game. I'll be on no delay, and even if I'm traveling, I typically have my gear unless I'm playing a specific tournament or have some engagement. So every Wednesday for sure. And then past that, if I'm not traveling, it really depends. When I'm home, I will typically be streaming like Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Like those are kind of my four most
Your
consistent
go-tos.
days. Because
What?
Saturday nights UFC. I gotta watch my UFC.
Oh, you're a UFC fan.
Yeah, that's like the only sport like I follow a little bit right now.
So my buddy that we had on episode 2 is a handicapper. One
Hmm.
of the He's so good. Like he's so good. You should check it out or follow him on. He's a poker player and he's so good at it. Like,
Narco?
yeah, Narco.
Okay, I follow him.
Yeah. He's like one of my really good friends. I've known him forever, and he came on, and dude, his plays are so sick. He has a
Yeah.
podcast too and stuff like that. So yeah, really good play, really good. So for UFC stuff, I didn't know you're a big UFC guy.
I love it, man. Something about it, I don't know what it is, but it's Saturday night, so typically it kind of like works into the flow of things because it's like, okay, do whatever on Saturday, and then Saturday night, like not be playing, unwinding, watch UFC
Clear
fights,
head.
have some bets in, little sweats, get to bed, and then be rested for like a Sunday grind versus like grinding all Saturday night.
Yeah, for sure. So your home game, people are asking about the home game.
Yeah.
Can
So
you tell
Wednesday
them?
nights, twitch.tv/betondrew. If you go to betondrew.com, like all my socials, my merch store, my stream, all that information is there. But on Wednesday nights, I'll typically go live around 7:30, 7:45 East Coast time. And the game starts at 8 o'clock on America's Card Room. And it is a 550 progressive knockout tournament. And what I'll do is that's all I do on Wednesday nights. I don't play any other games. Everything is about the home game stream. It's my community night. So you can hang out with me on stream. I'll be on no delay. I'll just block my cards, but I'll show my cards in certain situations. And on America's Card Room now, you could like show one card, show two cards.
I
So
love
it's
it.
very,
Yep.
very playful and fun, but it's all about the community. I'll do giveaways if you show up early to the excuse me, if you show up early to the stream. Typically I'll give away like 5 to 10 entries into the game. And it's basically me saying, to the community who've supported me streaming over the last like 6-7 years, like, hey, thanks for everything, continuing to support me. Wednesday nights are our night. Let's have a glass of wine. Let's have some soju. Let's drink. Let's play some poker and kind of enjoy it for the purity, like not forget where we all came from. Like that's kind of my Wednesday nights,
Like a fun. Let's not forget that poker's a game and we got to have fun type of thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Drew. Real quick, you want to talk about your Nutted Society, the project you're doing with them?
Yeah. So NFTs,
NFTs
are like a
thing
thing
right now.
It's a thing. Like we're progressing more and more into this digital era. And this is a project, a buddy of mine, JD, he's Kingsful24 on Twitch and on Twitter. But this is his passion project. And he's been in the space for a bit. And he reached out to me and was like, hey, would you like to be a coach, kind of like manage the coaching part of this project? So I was like, yeah, that's cool. And so basically with the Nutted Society, what I'm doing is every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern, I'm doing hand history reviews with the people who have that NFT.
Oh, that's
So
awesome, dude. Okay.
So yeah, we'll hop on Discord. I'll share my screen. I'll have, programs that I use to study up. We'll go through the hand histories. They can ask questions. And it's just a focused weekly study session, which is nice to kind of have somebody to lead that because it's easy to just like not study sometimes.
Of course.
And there's a lot of people out there who don't really know how to study or where to even start studying. So this is a nice value add for people who have that NFT. And then on Sundays, I'm actually on week 4 of a 9-week seminar that I'm doing. And basically, Sundays before the grind at like 11 a.m. Eastern, it's almost like a church service in a sense that like, we're getting up early on a Sunday. And what I have put together is a 9-week course, which is basically my personal poker experiences, which I've already kind of touched on a bit with you earlier. Like from 2010 to now, how did I go from this random dude to Drew, Team Pro Ambassador, Thirst Lounge, content creator. And I share all of my roadmap and how I've failed, things that I've done to succeed. In a 9-week course. And the way I communicate it to them is there's Raise Your Edge Masterclass, there's Upswing Masterclass, there's BBZ, there's all of these high level training courses and bundles and all these information out there, coaches that you can get this high level content from. And that's what they focus on. Like, I'm not here to try to regurgitate what I've learned in those courses or anything. I'm here to give you the glue that holds all that stuff together, because you know what I mean? You could know all the high level plays, you could know GTO solvers, but if you show up to a session and you're not mentally prepared for it, it doesn't matter. Do you get what I mean?
100%, 100%. And people don't understand. Oh, I know GTO. I know each spot. But if you can't get yourself to that spot and have a clear mind, then it's just never going to work. It's just never going to work. Like you're always going to be playing from behind because your mental game is not there. And I think that's a great seminar, and I think that's awesome, Drew. I really do, man.
I'm really excited about it. And like in that seminar, it's cool for me because I'm going back all the way to 2010 and reliving my journey a bit. Like I've got I have like a personal coaching or a diary that I have in my Google Drive that goes years back. And I have like a pre-grind notes that I've like shared these old slideshows when I used to make videos for cardrunners.com.
And Card Runners, that's old school too.
That's old school, man.
That's a name drop. That's a name drop.
Yeah, but I'm just going through and sharing all my things. We started off with like the very first seminar was like viewing your poker grind as a business, or viewing it as a professional sports organization. Your bankroll is your assets. You are the only worker, and then kind of framing that. And then we moved to bankroll management, energy, mindfulness, and then now we're actually coming into this fourth week. We're actually now going to start talking a little bit about like poker strategy, but everything up to this point is just kind of setting the foundation for before you go grind.
And this is all through Nutted Society, correct?
Yes, this is the only place this stuff is being offered and put out there.
Okay, cool. So people were asking. Okay, cool.
So that's at Nutted Society on Twitter is the best way to go, and then get plugged into their Discord. If anybody has any questions, you can feel free to DM me on Twitter as well. My stuff is, again, on the website, but Bet on Drew everywhere.
Drew,
yeah,
I appreciate you coming on, man. You have no idea. I know you're a busy man. I know you got a lot going on. And to take some time to talk to little old Leo, or not little old Leo, but big old Leo over here and come on this podcast when I'm barely starting out, man, you have no idea how much it means to me. And I appreciate you so much. I'm a fan of yours since day one, rooting for you all the time. It's always good to see you at a poker stop. I can't wait to break some bread with you this summer. Definitely going to hang out and break some bread. And I look forward to everything you're going to do and all the success you're going to have, because you are on your way to just crushing it, not just in poker, but in life, my man. I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Cheers, brother. I really appreciate that. And I'm honored actually that anybody would even want me to like come on and talk about stuff. So I really appreciate that. I really enjoyed this. This is cool. The format, it's clean, and it was just a really fun conversation. So I'm looking forward to checking out more of these.
Yeah, it was cool. I looked up and I was like an hour and 32 minutes, dude. It flowed great. Like it was so good. It was so awesome. Go check out everything Drew's doing. The guy's kicking butt and everything. You all are awesome. Drew, you're awesome. We'll keep in touch, my man. Thanks again for everything. We'll talk soon, dude.
Thanks. And thanks everybody for watching and hanging out. I appreciate you, Leo. Cheers, brother.
If we can get to 500 views, what food bank are we donating to? Have you thought about it?
There's a food bank that I've worked with before in Houston. So probably like the Houston Food Bank.
Done. Let's get this thing to 500 views and we'll make it happen, Drew, man. It's so good to see you, talk to you. Good luck, and we'll see you this summer.
Cheers, brother. See you.
Later, bud. Thanks.
All right.
Bye. All right, everyone. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in, new, old, guest. I appreciate you guys. It's just going to continue to build from here. Drew's a great guy. Like I said, he's so cool, so awesome. I'm wearing this Chat Pro patch that I got from Carlo. He's a good buddy of mine. Also, I'm all about growing the game of poker in any way that we possibly can. So if you all have anything, I will wear. I mean, our viewers are not that big yet, but I want to grow this podcast. I want to grow the game of poker in any way I can. So if you all want to send it to me, I'll wear it. I'll do anything to help the game of poker. Thank you, everyone that watched. I appreciate you guys. I am catching a flight to Tunica to go play the circuit event. So I'll be out there. And yeah, I love you all. I hope all your meals are correct and all your flush draws get there. You'll have a good rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back next Wednesday and Friday. All right. Have a great day. Love you guys. Talk soon.